Take a moment to distance yourself and imagine. What would it be like if you stopped caring about what others think of you? How would you be if you did what you genuinely believe is the best choice every time, regardless of what others would think? Where would you go? Let's do a quick visualization exercise together. Think of the last situation you were in, one where you wish you had spoken up, asked something, or done something, but didn't because of shame or fear of judgment. Now think of your other version, in another universe, who did exactly what you didn't have the courage to do. Picture a version of yourself who did everything you didn't have the courage to do throughout your entire life. How different is she/he from you? How many times have you failed to be your best self because of others? At the end of this video, you will understand what you need to do so that, from today on, you can be your best version. But for it to be effective, I need to explain why you urgently need to stop caring about other people's opinions. First, you need to understand how serious this is and how your life will be miserable if you don't. It won't help if you skip to the end of the video or read the answers in the comments. It won't have the same effect. So, for this, focus on this video, stop whatever else you're doing, stop reading the comments, and for a few minutes, focus only here. Can you do that? Imagine you go to a party, trying to impress the people there, trying to make them like you. Not long after, they start putting you down to be funny. You laugh along with them, make jokes at your own expense, but at least everyone's laughing, and they seem to like you. Then you go home, think about the situation, feel uncomfortable, and feel resentful about how you behaved. You keep thinking about how you wish you had said something or stood up for yourself, and you start ruminating over that past situation. It's clear that this is an extreme example, but the main idea is that often, we mold the way we behave to create a certain impression that we think is right. Maybe you can think of another situation in school, at work, or in college, anywhere. But why is this even a problem? Why should you care about wanting to change? The problem is that you sacrifice yourself. You're trying so hard to get people around you to like you, that you sacrifice your authenticity, who you really are, and what you really believe in. Ultimately, you are no longer you. You are a persona, a false version of what you think will make you more likable. Furthermore, you disintegrate from your own personality, and over time, you lose your essence and become a puppet. You also lose your sense of your own opinions, your individuality. You sacrifice your character and your desires for the acceptance of a group or person. And if one day that person or group defends an idea you don't agree with, maybe even a harmful idea, that's not hard to imagine, because people are easily manipulated, you won't have the ability to stand up for yourself. You don't have self-respect, you're a person who just accepts. That's why it's so easy for teenagers to get involved with drugs. At that age, the need to belong, to have friends, to be socially accepted, is so great that many end up sacrificing their own opinions to fit in. And even if that means doing things they don't want or believe in. And it's not hard to understand why this line of thinking is so perverse. It will lead you to physical and ideological places that don't represent who you are. Everything around you will end up controlling your actions, except for you. Moreover, unconsciously, all the decisions in your life will be shaped by this behavior. Every time you have a new idea or a new thought comes into your mind, it will act as a filter to decide whether or not you should actually do it. The way you walk, the way you dress, the way you speak, everything will be shaped by this filter. Now ask yourself, is this really you? Are you living, or are you just a spectator of your own life? There's a really cool analogy in case you like video games, about an NPC. An NPC is a non-playable character. It's a character that cannot be controlled. It's part of the storyline. It adds to the game's scenery. And the only actions it takes are when we interact with it, doing what's expected of us. What's the difference between you and an NPC? Do you act on your own will, the way you want, or the way you're expected to when the environment interacts with you? Are you the main character in your own story, or are you the supporting character in someone else's story? Alright, let's assume you get it. Now, the second question we need to ask is, why do we do this? I'll list a few common reasons, and you should actively try to understand which ones you relate to. Try to realize if you do this. And without judgment, don't judge yourself. Try to truly understand so you can improve. Maybe you'll relate to one, two, or all of them, that's okay. But pay attention here and listen, okay? One possible cause is that you don't want to hurt people because you think disagreeing will make them dislike you. So, you become a passive person, without morality. You hide in the shadows as someone who doesn't want to cause problems or discomfort. And the result is that you become a heap of flesh wandering the world aimlessly, accepting anything that comes your way. How many times have you not done something you wanted to because you thought it would disrupt things? A constant worry about trying to make people not feel uncomfortable in your presence. Forget it, people get hurt by all sorts of things. You have no idea, and it's not even your job to worry about it. Another part of it might be that you fear conflict. You don't want to disagree or speak your mind because you don't want to get into a disagreement with someone. You end up being weak, thinking, I don't want to be aggressive and get into a clash of ideas. Well, the choice is yours, but know that you'll pay the price for this because, man, no one will take you seriously. You'll always have your opinion disregarded. Why should anyone listen to you if you're compassionate and agree with everything? You don't say what you really believe, you just accept. If you don't respect yourself and your own ideas, how do you expect anyone else to respect you? It's like a dog that's been beaten a lot, now hiding with its tail between its legs, trying to go unnoticed. Seriously, people will walk right past you as if you weren't even there, like you were invisible.
If you're liking this, just a little bit, hit the like button. Thanks for the support, we're in this together.
Also, and maybe the worst part, though it's hard to say what the worst reason is the fact that you don't want to come off as a fool. When you care so much about what the people around you think of you, you're very concerned about looking like you know what you're doing, about seeming like you're not lost or afraid. The problem is, every situation that takes you out of your comfort zone will always make you look like a fool, always. And how do you avoid looking like a fool? You're not God, you're here to make mistakes and learn. And most people live in this world of appearances. They want to seem to others in their social circle like they know what they're doing. Some people get so stuck in this idea that they never change. Whenever you try something new, you'll look like a fool. It's your first time. It's like, oh no, I don't want to speak in public, I'll stutter, I'll shake, and I'll look like an idiot. Okay, fair. But know this, if you're not willing to look like a fool, you'll never try anything new. If you never try anything new, you won't learn anything. If you don't learn anything, you'll stay stuck in the pathetic place you're in for the rest of your life. And everyone's pathetic in some way. And everyone has been pathetic. That's why it's so easy to learn when you're a child. Kids don't care about anything. Kids are silly. But they try. Give a guitar to a child, and they'll do all sorts of embarrassing things with it. It won't even cross their mind, oh, am I looking like an idiot and embarrassing myself? No. They just do it. Because of that, they make more mistakes. And because they make more mistakes, they learn faster. Adults don't. They feel embarrassed. They care what others think. Give a guitar to an adult, and they'll only try when no one's looking. And if someone's watching, they'll try with little enthusiasm and be concerned, oh, do I look pathetic playing this guitar? People are watching, look at how embarrassed I am. So they give up. Listen to what I'm telling you. This isn't good. It will lead you to horrible places, and the worst part is, you'll know you put yourself there and weren't able to do anything to change it. If you're not willing to make mistakes, you'll never learn. But one of the reasons is because you want to please everyone. You think that by acting a certain way, you can be friends with everyone. You can be someone who has no problems with anyone. Believe me when I say this is simply impossible. You can't be friends with everyone. If you're friends with everyone, you're an enemy to yourself. People are complex and completely different from each other. When you're friends with everyone, you present different, fake personalities. One for each group. So, ultimately, you can't tell who your true friends are and who's part of your false world created to please others. It doesn't matter what you believe in, your political views, the clothes you wear, the way you speak. There will always be someone who doesn't like you the way you are. This next reason is a bit more specific and might not apply to everyone, or at least not in a destructive way. It's the desire to control everything. This can be a deeper cause, stemming from childhood. But it's a tendency you have to try to control every situation, everything in your life. You literally shape yourself, shape your actions, because you believe that maybe, this way, certain people will act a certain way. You try to calculate an equation in your head to get a specific result. In this case, the result is a particular scenario. However, this is very problematic. Believe me when I say, it's impossible to calculate other people. People are too unpredictable, and no matter how much you try, you can't control them. Just forget it. The number of variables is beyond your human capacity to think about. You might even get a satisfactory result from time to time, but in the end, it all falls apart. Because there will be a variable or something you didn't account for that also interferes with it. And on top of that, you've wasted your time and mental energy. You can't even control your own impulses and desires. Imagine trying to control others. And, well, the last one, and no less important, is related to the fact that you try to seem perfect, which ties into ego. Ego shapes your behavior, and you end up trying to be perfect in everything, in relationships, in appearances, in your efforts. Part of this is because you think you deserve attention. You believe you deserve to be the center of attention. You please everyone and try to be perfect because you crave recognition from the people around you. You want them to stop whatever they're doing, look at you, and see some hidden potential. Look at how amazing they are, let's stop everything and give them a standing ovation. Many people think their ego isn't that big, yet they go out of their way to show how well off they are. This has become far more common today, largely encouraged by social media. Everyone has an amazing life on Instagram. Look at the restaurant I'm at, check out my new car, see how well I take care of my health, notice how I'm the perfect example of a person. Please don't get me wrong, ego itself isn't a bad thing. On the contrary, you need it. You need ego. It's what drives you to have commitment with yourself. It connects your thinking consciousness to your presence in the world. It's what tells you that you matter. Let's chase the things that make us happy. The real problem arises when ego takes control of you, when you develop what's called an inflated ego. I'm the center of the world, the most important person that exists. No one has the right to contradict me, everyone else is wrong, and I'm right. A person with this type of behavior will trample over anyone, however necessary. It's easy to see this in older people. Older generations, no matter which one, always believe they know more than the younger ones. And then they stop learning. They become less intelligent because they refuse to be contradicted.
What do you think you know? You're younger than me. I'm older, so I know more than you. I've been through more.
But it's tricky because with time, you don't just accumulate intelligence, you also accumulate a lot of foolishness. Be careful not to end up like that. Don't become that stubborn person who refuses to admit they're wrong or accept being contradicted because of ego. It's really hard to say which of these traits is worse or more common. Maybe you identify with just one of them, maybe with all of them, maybe a little bit of each. It doesn't matter. Just know that we all have something to improve, but you need to actively think about it. The harsh truth is that everyone is like this, literally everyone. Some more, some less, but everyone has a bit of this, and everyone has room for improvement.
If you had to leave this video with just one idea in your mind, I'd say this: remember. Remember that every time you're doing something, and at the same time you're worried about what other people around you might think of you doing it, you are sabotaging yourself. You are being a worse version of yourself than you should be. And somewhere, there's a version of you going down the right path and being better than you.
After everything we've heard, everything we've thought about, the question that remains is this: what can I do? That's the easiest question of the day. Look at the behaviors I mentioned that you identify with and stop doing them. That's it. Straight to the point. Alright, but how do I stop? That's the right question. Well, the first and most important thing, and if you've paid attention this far, you've already achieved it, is to understand. There's no point in having 1,000 methods if you don't genuinely understand why you want to do something. Humans work that way. If you hand someone tools and say, build a boat, they'll ask, why? You can force them, you can insist, but it won't work. The result will be horrible and catastrophic. But if you explain, create identification, and help the person understand why they're building the damn boat, they'll find the strength to fulfill that need, no matter what. So, genuinely understand. That's the best tip I can give. Truly. If you've achieved that, nothing else matters. You'll find the way, no matter what. Focus on your own life. Stop being so interested in other people's lives. Stop wanting to know who broke up with whom, what new car that person bought, or what places they went to. When you're overly interested in someone else's life, you unconsciously reveal a desire to outdo them. But then you might say, isn't that a good thing? And there's the catch. You're not trying to be a better person, you're trying to be a better person than someone else. And when you focus too much on being better than someone else, you create a need to show off that you're better than them. or even show others around you that you're better than them. You'll shape your actions and behavior to achieve this. And that leads us to the next point, which is, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Humans want to compete over who has the best car, the best spouse, the highest salary. Stop competing with others. For a moment, you might win, but then you'll find someone else who's better than you, and you'll fall into this competition again. And I guarantee you, this is a game you can't win. You'll always find someone better than you. Always. No matter how good you are. Moreover, there's nothing noble about beating someone else. You came from different places, with different backgrounds. You don't know the disadvantages or advantages another person has had in their life. If you want a fair game, compare yourself and try to outdo yourself every day, because you have your own flaws, your own advantages and disadvantages. You know yourself, and if you beat yourself, that will be fair. Have a well-defined goal. When you don't know where you're going, any path will do. And any is usually not the best path. And you'll never know what to expect. So, know what you want, know your purpose. If you're going to the gym, genuinely understand why you're going to the gym. Visualize it and have it fixed in your mind. Otherwise, you'll just go. If you don't know why, your mind will wander and start looking for other people to fixate on. If your ultimate goal, for example, is to win a marathon, you won't care how sweaty you are, how bad you look, or how strange you're acting. You won't care, you just want to win the damn marathon. You have to understand that the mind is slippery. It always wants to latch onto something. So have your goal firmly in mind, so it latches onto that, something that's worth it. Know that it will be hard. To wrap things up, you need to know that it will be tough. Even after understanding and knowing how harmful it is, you will still make mistakes. Like, a lot of mistakes. You'll be aware of the situation, aware of what you want to do. You'll say, now I'm going to do it, and you won't do it. That's because this behavior has been with you for so long that it's already ingrained. It's in your subconscious. And that's the exact definition of a habit. If it were easy to break free and stop, it wouldn't be a habit. This is your body's way of conserving energy. After doing something for a long time, your brain puts it on autopilot so you don't have to think. But never give up just because you didn't succeed. It will take effort and time. But I guarantee you it's worth it. Well, that's it. I'm confident that if you put this into practice, slowly, carefully, and consciously, I'm 100% sure you'll become a better person. Truly. That's all for today. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this. But wait, don't leave yet. Just give me 25 more seconds of your time. If you've made it this far and feel this video added something to your life, I ask you, please, to leave a like. It's quick, costs you nothing, and all you have to do is scroll down and click that little button. Additionally, if you want more content like this to appear on your YouTube page, subscribe to the channel, okay? That's it. Thank you so much, and see you next time.